There's this one force that's quietly shaping our entire lives. And honestly, we overlook it all the time because we're so busy chasing the next big thing. Today, we're going to talk about the real superpower, consistency.
So, let me ask you something, and let's be real here. How many times have you gotten that jolt of inspiration, that feeling like, this is it, I'm going to change everything, only to, find yourself right back where you started a few weeks later? It's a tough cycle, isn't it? Super frustrating.
But here's the thing. What if I told you the problem has never been your motivation or your willpower? The real issue is that we've all been taught to worship the wrong thing. We chase these huge, explosive bursts of effort, when the actual secret to change, well, it's a lot quieter, a lot steadier.
Let's just break this down. On one side, you've got intensity. It's explosive, it's exciting, but man, it is short-lived. It's that New Year's resolution that's totally dead by February. Then on the other side, you have consistency. It's not explosive, it's accumulated. It doesn't just excite you, it actually transforms you, and over time, it becomes absolutely unstoppable.
So let's really get into it. We're going to break down the 7 specific powers that consistency unlocks in your life. And this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a practical roadmap to making changes that actually stick.
All right, power number 1, consistency builds identity. This is so important. Just think about it this way. Every single time you repeat an action, you're basically casting a vote for the kind of person you want to be. It's not about one big announcement, it's about all the tiny daily ballots you cast with your own behavior.
Picture Kobe Bryant hitting the gym when it's still dark outside. That was way more than just practicing basketball. He was actively telling himself over and over and over again, I am the person who outworks everybody. That identity, it drove everything else he did. It literally became a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that leads right into power number 2, consistency compounds results. It's kind of funny. We almost always overestimate what we can do in a single day, but we massively underestimate what we can pull off in a year if we just stick with these small, steady efforts. It's literally like compound interest, but for your life goals.
A perfect example of this? Ed Sheeran. He's talked about how his first gigs, well, they weren't great. But he didn't sit around waiting for some big break. He just kept showing up, playing thousands of tiny, imperfect shows. Each one was like a small deposit in his skill bank, and over time, those deposits compounded into a global career. Success is almost never an explosion. It's an accumulation.
Okay, power number 3 is all about trust. And look, trust isn't built on making some grand dramatic promise. It's forged when you're reliable, time and time again. When people know you're going to show up, they trust you. But here's the kicker. When you keep promises to yourself, that's when you build self-trust, and that is the absolute bedrock of confidence. I mean, think about Serena Williams. For decades, her insane consistency and training built this fortress of trust. We, as the audience, trusted her to perform at the highest level. But can you just imagine the level of trust she built inside herself? That's the real power. Every time you follow through on a small promise to yourself, you're saying, yeah, I can count on me.
Which brings us right to power number 4. Consistency strengthens discipline. And this is a huge distinction we need to make. Motivation, that's an emotion. It's a fickle friend, right? It shows up when it feels like it. But discipline, that's a structure. It's the system you build that keeps you going even when motivation decides to take a vacation.
This right here is the game changer. Consistency basically automates your success. It gets rid of that exhausting debate you have with yourself every morning. You stop wasting all that mental energy asking, should I go to the gym today? And your brain just goes, nope, this is what we do at 7 a.m. It makes progress the easiest option.
Now, power number 5 is huge for anyone who's ever felt held back by anxiety. Consistency reduces fear. See, fear thrives in the unknown. And repetition, it just systematically destroys the unknown. It takes something that's scary and unfamiliar, and just through sheer exposure, it makes it feel routine, normal, even comfortable.
I mean, even someone as iconic as Oprah Winfrey wasn't just born a media mogul oozing confidence. That confidence was built over thousands of hours of just showing up, hosting her show, connecting with people, day in and day out. Consistency slowly starved her fear and fed her confidence until one just completely took over the other.
Let's move on to power number 6. Consistency creates momentum. Think about trying to push one of those giant, heavy flywheels. That first push is brutal. It takes a ton of effort. It's a total grind. But once you get it moving, it starts to develop its own energy. It gets easier and easier to keep it going. Your habits?
They work exactly the same way. And this is so important, so listen up. The goal is not perfection. You are going to miss a day. It's going to happen. The goal is continuity. It's just about getting back to it the next day. Momentum isn't broken by one slip-up. It's broken when you decide not to start again. It just requires persistence.
And that brings us to the final, ultimate payoff. Power number 7. Consistency unlocks mastery. Look, we all have dreams, right? But a dream without a daily, consistent plan of action is really just a wish. Mastery doesn't show up in some dramatic flash of genius. It's forged in the quiet, totally unglamorous, repetitive work you do when nobody else is watching. And I want you to let this one sink in for a second. Having amazing potential is great, but the world doesn't hand out trophies for potential. It rewards what you actually do. It rewards the grit, the follow-through, the persistence. It rewards consistency.
Okay, so we've just covered a whole lot of the why. You ready for the how? This is where we turn all this knowledge into action with a really simple but powerful 90-day challenge. It's designed to take you from just feeling inspired to actually being consistent. Here are the 3 simple rules. That's it. First, start way smaller than you think you should. We want a goal that's almost impossible to fail at. Second, focus on frequency, doing it every day, not on how long or how hard you do it. And third, you got to track it. Get a calendar, put a big X on it every day you do it. Seeing that chain grow is unbelievably motivating.
So what could this look like? Just pick one thing. Seriously, not 5 things, just one. Maybe it's reading 10 pages a day, or walking for 30 minutes, or practicing an instrument. The action itself almost matters less than the simple act of being consistent with it for the next 90 days.
So, at the end of the day, I want you to remember this. That big, explosive burst of intensity, it's like a firework. It lights up the whole sky, it gets you all excited.
But consistency, well, that's the sun. It shows up every single day, and it has the power to fundamentally change the entire landscape of your life. It's what actually transforms you.
So that brings us to the last and maybe the most important question. It's not about what you could do, it's about what you will do. What is the one habit, that one small action, that you will commit to practicing consistently for the next 90 days, starting right now?